Hi, this is Cassy and Joe, and we're the jewelry couple. Today we're going to talk about radiance and princess cut. That would be a square diamond, the princess cut, with those sharp edges, and the radiant cut diamond, which is essentially the cousin, the same facet structure and brilliance, but with those edges, corners, cut off. That's really the only difference. You could have an elongated princess, won't look as nice, and they're very low in value. Those top quality princess cuts squares are actually square, whereas the radiant cuts could be elongated or they could be square, but they're going to have those points cut off. Now, who might be into a princess cut, Cass?
I think somebody that likes the brilliance that a round diamond has, but maybe doesn't want a round. It still has all the same sparkle, a lot of fire, a lot of facets, but it's just that square shape.
Right.
So
It's a brilliant cut, so it has the same sort of facet structure, but a different packaging. It has those sharp corners and those sharp edges. So people might be into boxy over the curves. So that has to do with the aesthetics, and that's a personal preference. Very beautiful stone. A lot of times you'll see it with channel settings. So princess cuts look great because it's edge to edge, stone to stone. Here's some pictures right now. It's just really flat, and you can see how all the stones line up without having any space. Like this one right here. It's all lining up. So if channel is something that you like, princess cuts are something you should maybe explore. Now, radiant cut is interesting because our last video, which was on the emerald cuts, they came up with the idea for the radiant based on the emerald cut. They said, how can we make this emerald cut be more brilliant, like a round stone? So they just added a bunch of facets, and they still had the cut corners, which is what an emerald cut has. The emerald cut has those step cuts. So they got rid of those, kept the essential shape of the emerald cut, and added the facets, and there you have a radiant.
I personally like radiance more than princess cut because I love emerald cut. So it's sort of that in between those two shapes.
Right.
So.
Sometimes, you were telling me this, sometimes when somebody's looking at the emerald cut, you show them the radiant, same ratio, which we'll look at the ratios here. So with the princess cuts, they're square. Those are the ones that you want. If it's off square, not so good. Radiant cuts, on the other hand, could be rectangular. They could be square. Primarily, though, the top ones are rectangular.
Well, also, if somebody wants that look and might have a lower budget, I wouldn't suggest emerald cut because it has to be so high quality to not see any inclusions.
Right.
I would suggest a radiant or princess to still get a lot of sparkle, and you can do a smaller stone.
Right. What we talked about in the other video, which you haven't seen, you should go check it out, how the emerald cuts should be in the VS category. Radiant cuts, like Cassy's saying, smart tip, listen, you could go with an SI or something that's clean to the naked eye. You don't have to go strictly on clarity because it's going to be clean to the naked eye, and you could focus on the important things like size or the color. Yeah. So those are the basic things you need to know about the princess cut and the radiant cut. It's your personal preference. If you need any of these types of stones or want to see them, just let us know. We're the jewelry couple at yahoo.com, CassySaberJewelry.com. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. Here's some more pictures quickly of some settings that we've made up. Like a halo, a classic square with some squares on the side channel, and then, of course, just a solitaire. You could do anything with these two types of shapes. The emerald cuts, remember, and the radiant, if you want to have a little more brilliance, that makes sense, or that square shape. That's the basics between those two stones. The next one, we're going to take a little break, and Cassy's been really excited about this. She's going to talk about low-budget engagement rings. Why don't you say what quickly they're going to hear on that video?
Well, a lot of people have asked me, I only have $1,500 or I only have $2,500, and I go into a retail jewelry store or a commercial branded store that might have lower quality goods, and they'll get a tiny little band or something that's super included and looks yucky. And I want to show you some pictures on the screen of some rings we've done that are gorgeous.
Yeah. So you don't get hosed. Basically,
exactly.
you can get really nice quality.
Yep.
As long as you know how to twist the dials of the
Yeah.
color, the clarity, the size, which she's going to talk